Okay, so we got some wisdom today from the Muslim holy book, the Quran. And I got a pretty nice verse here for you guys, and we'll talk about what it means. The verse is, I'll read it out in Arabic and translate it in English. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها, which means God does not burden a soul with anything that it can't handle. Let me repeat that. God does not burden a soul with anything that it can't already handle. Meaning, anything that you're going through in your life right now, any sort of crisis, any sort of challenge, if you're disabled and you're sitting in a wheelchair, if you're just lost all your family, you're in a war-torn country and you lost all your family members, if you just failed an exam in your university and you have to repeat the year, if you're really sick right now, anything that is part of your journey, that is part of the script that you're playing out, that is part of your soul's journey, if you will, you can handle it. Because God does not burden you with anything that you can't handle. In fact, the bigger the challenge, the greater the challenge in your life, it means God knows you got this shit, motherfucker. You got this shit. And so this is why you're going through these challenges. You're going through these challenges to learn, to grow, and you already got it. You got it. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. You got it. You got it. You got this shit. In other words, that's what God is saying. Saying you got this shit. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Wave to the camera.
Hey, say hello to the camera.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, there's Teddy.
So, as we were saying, what God is saying in this verse is you got this shit. You got this shit, okay? Nobody got nothing on you. You got this shit. Whatever it is. If you're in a wheelchair, man, I'm gonna go see a friend of a friend next week. And I'm looking forward to seeing him because, you know, my friend tells me that his friend who's in a wheelchair is like the funniest, quackiest, most hilarious person you can be around. So I'm really interested to see him. And I really do believe that if you're going through something, your soul can handle that thing. Anything. If you're going through a depression, if you're going through a physical ailment, a mental ailment, maybe like my other friend, schizophrenic, right? He's gone through schizophrenia and he is probably watching this video. And he called me from the hospital and he said, bro, you know, I tried to commit suicide. Come see me. And man, he grew as a person because of that experience. Like, you don't understand. This guy is on a whole different level of operation. It's because of what he's gone through. Because his soul can handle it. You see, because his soul can handle it. So, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. God does not burden anyone with anything that they can't handle. Keep that in mind. Okay, this goes on. This idea coincides with the idea in Hinduism that, you know, your soul chooses the path, chooses the script, chooses the parents, chooses the challenge. You've written all of this, right? I definitely believe in that. You've written all of this. You've chosen your parents, your soul, your consciousness. You chose this. The challenges you're going through right now, you chose them consciously because you have certain lessons that you need to learn for your soul to grow to level up in this game of consciousness that we're all playing, so that we can become one with the divine again, so that we can become one with God again. You see? But in order for us to, go back home, essentially, we're all just trying to go back home. We were home at once, we went out, we played, we went out a little too far, we're coming back home. It's all it is. It's all that happened. And in order for us to go back home, the reason why we went to play in the first place is really purpose. Like, I don't know. There's no reason. We're just playing, I guess. Right? But it seems that the way to go back home is to learn or remember who we were. And part of the remembrance is the lessons you pick up as you go on through each journey, each lifetime, each incarnation, each spawn. And the same idea that you hear about in the Quran is also in Hinduism, which is the idea of you chose this. So don't complain, don't play the victim card. Get up and fight. Fight your way through and find the silver lining. Find some purpose in your suffering, some meaning. Rise above it and then inspire other people to do the same as well. Because usually, oftentimes, most of the times, your challenges, your greatest challenges end up becoming your biggest strengths. So cliche to say, but you will see a lot of bodybuilders and a lot of fighters, right? Were bullied as kids. And because they were bullied, they took up fighting, they took up bodybuilding. And now they're motivating other people who were bullied. You see, their greatest challenge, they already picked it on a soul level. So like a big giant bodybuilder or like a super fighter, they who got bullied as a kid, they chose to be bullied as kids, and they chose the path of bodybuilding, fighter, and all of that is so that they can also inspire other people who also chose the same circumstances to also rise above their fears and rise above their fears and insecurities. And I can say the same thing about myself. Like, I've gone through major depressions. I've gone through a lot of negativity growing up. Okay, I've gone through a lot of bullying. Gone through a lot of fucked up shit. Okay, I had a pretty fucked up childhood. Okay, I don't really like to talk about it because who cares? It's you want me to get a tissue right now? You want me to cry? Right? It's the past. You can't do nothing about it. But I can see the relevancy of it is the reason why I want to inspire people. I want to wake people up to their true nature and empower them, is because I felt very powerless growing up. Very, very powerless. I chose that power to be in a very powerless situation so that I can become who I am, who I'm becoming. All the challenges you can handle. God is not going to burden you with anything that you can't handle. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. God bless you all. I love every single one of you guys, but don't forget to subscribe, or you're gonna sleep with the fishes. So subscribe.